Hello everyone. Today we are going to have an introduction to internal combustion engine, also known as IC engines. IC engines are the most important topics of mechanical engineering. So let us begin today's session with the topics we are going to cover today. First we'll have an introduction to engine, then we'll see the classifications of heat engine, advantages of IC engine over EC engine, various engine components, and finally the engine terminologies. So let us begin with the engine. Engine is a device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. That means engine can convert chemical, thermal or electrical energy into another form of energy like work energy or power. Now on the basis of thermal energy they are classified as heat engine. A heat engine is a device which transforms the chemical energy of a fuel into thermal energy and uses this energy to produce mechanical work. For example, if coal is burnt, chemical reaction takes place which is converted into thermal energy, and this thermal energy is used to get mechanical work output. Let us see the classifications of heat engines. Heat engines are classified into two types: external combustion engine and internal combustion engine. External combustion engine, the name itself says that combustion is taking place outside the cylinder, and internal combustion engine means combustion is taking place inside the cylinder. In earlier days, external combustion engines were used in locomotive trains. Around 40 to 50 years back, the steam engines which we were using was external combustion engines. But nowadays we are using electric engines, that is by using electric power we run the train. Here in this figure you can see that the combustion chamber is outside the cylinder. The heat energy of this combustion gas is supplied to the water, and water is converted into steam, and steam is supplied as a fuel into the cylinder. Since combustion is taking place outside the cylinder, it is known as external combustion engine. This is a figure of IC engine or internal combustion engine. In IC engine, we are using fuel like petrol, diesel or gas. Here inside the cylinder, the mixing and combustion of fuel takes place. Due to this combustion, high pressure is created, which in turn pushes this piston and rotate the crank where work is done and mechanical power is produced. Remember, in external combustion engine, the working fluid is steam and it is obtained by burning coal or wood, and the temperature and pressure obtained here is lower. Whereas in internal combustion engines, working fluid may be petrol, diesel or various types of gases, and the temperature and pressure obtained here is higher. Now if we see about the space, external combustion engine, it require more space, so they are mainly used in steam power plants or gas power plants, whereas in IC engine require less space and they are used in our vehicles like cars, bikes, buses, etc. These are the basic difference between external combustion engines and internal combustion engines. Now let us see the advantages of IC engines over EC engines. IC engines are having greater mechanical simplicity as compared to EC engines. IC engines are compact and lighter in weight as compared to EC engines. In IC engines, boilers and condensers are absent, whereas in EC engines, without boiler and condenser, it cannot operate. IC engines are having lower initial cost as compared to EC engines. If we talk about efficiency, IC engines gives higher overall efficiency as compared to the EC engines. In IC engines, less water are required for cooling as compared to EC engines. Coming to the engine components. IC engines are basically classified into spark ignition engines, that is SI engines, and compression ignition engines, that is CI engines. This figure shows the cross-sectional view of SI engine, that is spark ignition engine. So let us see the engine components. This is the engine cylinder. You have spark plug. This is the center one, is the spark plug, inlet valve, exhaust valve, intake manifold, exhaust manifold. All these are mounted inside the cylinder head. Below the cylinder head you have cylinder block. This is a cylinder block inside which the piston cylinder arrangement is present. And inside the cylinder block, the combustion of here, in this combustion chamber, the combustion of fuel also takes place, because of which power is generated and our engine run. Below the cylinder block you can find the crankcase. This is the crankcase. Inside crankcase, connecting rod, shaft and gearbox are mounted. Now let us see this engine components with their basic definitions. Starting with the cylinder block. It is the main supporting structure for engine, which contains piston cylinder arrangement inside which combustion of fuel takes place. So this what you see, this is the cylinder block, and this inside the cylinder at the top portion the combustion of fuels takes place. Cylinder head. It is the structure mounted on the cylinder block. If it contains here, this is the cylinder head. It contains the valve seat, cam and follower, etc., just as we have seen in the previous slide, and also the spark plug in case of petrol engines or fuel injector in case of diesel engines. Along with that, it also has the lubrication and cooling passages like fins or water jacket. Next is the cylinder. This is the figure of the cylinder. This is the internal part. This is the cylinder. This is the internal portion of the cylinder block. This is the cylinder block and this is the cylinder. And on the outer side you will find fins, which is used for air cooling. Let us see its definition. Cylinder is a cylindrical vessel or space inside the cylinder block in which piston makes the reciprocating motion as well as the combustion of fuel takes place. Means cylinder is that cylindrical vessel inside which the piston reciprocates and the combustion of fuel takes place. Cylinder is made of aluminum alloys for light duty vehicles like our bikes, and cast iron for heavy duty vehicles like buses, trucks, etc. Next, coming to the piston. Now piston is a cylindrical components fitted into the cylinder to provide the reciprocating motion. You can see here, this is the cylindrical piston which is fitted inside the cylinder. This piston transmits the force of explosion to the crankshaft via connecting rod. Piston also provides the slot for the piston ring. You can see here, this is the slots which is provided for the piston rings. Pistons are made of aluminum alloys and stainless steels. Now coming to the piston rings. Piston rings are the expandable split rings fitted into the slots around the piston. Now piston rings are provided to maintain the airtight seal between the piston and the cylinder wall. You can see here there will be a gap between the piston and the cylinder. So this piston ring, what it will do? It will fill the gap between these two, piston and the cylinder. It is also used to provide the lubrication between the piston and cylinder walls for smooth functioning of piston. Now this pistons, you can see here, this is the figure of the piston, and piston rings are commonly made up of cast iron and forged and heat treated steels. Okay, now in automobile engines basically three rings are available. First two you can see it, they are the compression rings, and the bottom ring is the oil rings. You can see here in the bottom ring, that is oil ring, some spring like coil is provided. It is for lubrication between the piston and the cylinder. Whereas the first two, the compression rings, are primarily used for sealing the combustion chamber. That is to seal the gap between the cylinder and the piston. Next engine component is the combustion chamber. Now it is the area or enclosed space within the cylinder where the fuel air mixture is ignited, that is combustion of air fuel mixture takes place. In IC engines, space between the piston within the cylinder is taken as combustion chamber. Next, coming to the inlet and exhaust manifold. Inlet manifold, it is the passage or pipe used to supply the air fuel mixture to the engine cylinder. You can see here, this is the inlet valve and this is the inlet manifold through which we get the air fuel mixture to the cylinder. Next is the exhaust manifold. It is the passage or pipe used to remove the burn or flow gases from the engine cylinder. That is, after combustion, the burned gases which are there inside the cylinder are removed through this exhaust manifold. You can see here, this is the exhaust valve. It gets open up to remove all the combust gases from the cylinder. Next is the inlet and exhaust valves. Inlet and exhaust valves are usually mushroom shaped poppet valves. You can see here in the figure, it is a mushroom shaped poppet valves, and intake valves are open to allow the flow of an air fuel mixture into the engine cylinder prior to compression and ignition, while exhaust valves open to permit the expulsion of exhaust gases from the combustion chamber. And inlet and exhaust valves are made of nickel chromium based steel. Next, coming to the spark plug. You can see here in the figure, it is a part that fitted into the cylinder head of an internal combustion engine and carries two electrodes by an air gap, across which you can see here there is an air gap, across which the current from the ignition system discharges to form the spark for combustion. Now, to produce spark, a spark gap is generally kept between central electrode and the ground electrode. Remember 2 points in case of spark plug. First point is spark gap should be 0.6, this gap. Okay, this is the spark gap. So this gap should be 0.6 to 1 mm, and the sparking voltage should be 10,000 to 15,000. Next, coming to the connecting rod. Connecting rod is the I cross-sectional link used to transmit the force given by the piston to the crank. Now here you can see the connecting rod. It is having two ends, big end and the small end. Small end is connected to piston with the help of gudgeon pin, and big end is connected to the crank with the help of the crank pin. Next, coming to the crank and crankshaft. Crank is a mechanical link which is used to convert the reciprocating motion of piston into rotary motion, and also used to convert the force of piston into torque of crankshaft with the help of the connecting rod. You can see here, its one end is connected to the connecting rod with the help of the crank pin, and another end is shaft to the it is cast to the crankshaft. Right? Remember, this crank and the crankshaft. This is the crank and this is the crankshaft. They are not a separate component. They are cast to each other. So next we can see the crankcase. So it is the lowest part of the cylinder block or engine which supports and encloses the crankshaft and the camshaft. You can see here, this is the crankcase. It is also used to support the cylinder block. This the cylinder block and this is the crankcase. So it stores the lubricating oil required for lubrication for engine parts and also protects the engine parts from dust, moisture and splashing mud. Next, coming to the flywheel. It is a heavy balanced disc at the end of the crankshaft. It is also known as energy storing device. So you can define the flywheel as it is used to store the energy during the power stroke and returns back this stored energy to piston during compression stroke and exhaust stroke for providing the uniform motion of piston. So these are the various engine components which is used in an IC engines. Next, coming to the terminologies of IC engines. Knowing terminology is very important in case of studying internal combustion engines. So let us see some of the terminologies used in the IC engines. So beginning with the cylinder bore. The inner diameter of the cylinder is known as the bore. It is denoted by D. You can see here, this is the inner diameter of the cylinder and this inner diameter, it is known as the bore, which is denoted by D. Next, coming to the dead center. The extreme positions occupied by the piston at the end of its stroke where the center line of the connecting rod and the crank are in the same straight line. Now, when this connecting rod and the crank, they are in a straight line, the extreme position, when there will be two position, one when this piston is at the top position and one position when it will be at the bottom position. At both the cases, this piston and the crank will be in the straight line. So that is the dead center, and this dead center are of two types. First is the top dead center. In vertical engines, as you can see here, this is a vertical engine. The extreme position of the piston near to the cylinder head is called the top dead center and it is denoted by TDC. And in horizontal cylinder, if you keep this cylinder in the horizontal position, at that time this TDC will be known as inner dead center, that is IDC. Next is the bottom dead center. In vertical engines, the extreme position of the piston near to the crank, you can see here, this is the extreme position when it is near to the crankshaft, is called bottom dead center and it is denoted by BDC. So these are the two positions when the piston and the connecting rod will be in straight line. Okay, so this position, when it comes in this position in a straight line, it covers the two dead centers, that is the top dead center and the bottom dead center. Next terminology is the stroke length. The linear distance along the cylinder axis between the TDC and BDC is called as stroke length. It is denoted by L. You can see here in the figure, this distance, linear distance between the TDC and BDC is called as the stroke length and it is denoted by L. Remember, if the cylinder bore and the stroke length, this is the cylinder bore, this and the stroke length are same, then the engine is called as square engine. And if L is twice D. Now L will be twice of D, then it is called as under square engine. And if D is bigger, now D is twice the L, then it is called over square engine. Next, coming to the clearance volume. The volume of the cylinder above the top of the piston when the piston is at the top dead center is called clearance volume, and it is denoted by Vc. You can see here, when the piston is at the top dead center, this volume, it is known as the clearance volume. Swept volume. The volume swept by the piston when it moves from TDC to BDC, that is top dead center to bottom dead center, is called as swept volume, and it is denoted by Vs. Now this is Vs. The piston is moving from TDC to BDC. So this volume which it covers, it is known as the swept volume, and the total volume is the sum of the swept volume and the clearance volume. Coming to the compression ratio. It is the ratio of the total cylinder volume. Total cylinder volume means Vs plus Vc when the piston is at BDC to the clearance volume when piston is at TDC. Okay, when it comes into the TDC, it will be this volume, clearance volume. So the compression ratio, you can write it as the total volume, that is Vs plus Vc upon the clearance volume. So these are some of the terminologies which we use in the internal combustion engines, which are very important to understand and remember. Hope you have understood it. And with this, I'll end today's session. Thank you for your patient hearing.